Good morning, children. Welcome back to your history class. Yesterday, we learnt about the Bahmani kingdom. Today, let's learn about the Mughal kingdom which was established in India before Shivaji Maharaj. Students, Babur was the first Mughal king in India. He was actually from Central Asia. We have already learnt previously that Babur was invited to India by Daulat Khan Lodi to help him fight against Ibrahim Lodi. Babur agreed. Do you know why? He agreed because he had heard about the great wealth and riches of India. He wanted to invade India himself. So Babur came with a great army and rifles and cannons. He easily defeated Ibrahim Lodi at Panipat. Babur then had to fight the Battle of Khanwa. Babur won this battle too. His army and weapons were no match for Rana Sanga. After these victories, the Mughal rule was established in India. But unfortunately, Babur did not live and enjoy his glory and victory. He died, handing over his throne to his son Humayun. Do you know, children, when Babur's son Humayun fell ill, Babur prayed to God to spare his son at the cost of his life. Soon after that, Humayun recovered miraculously and Babur fell ill. He died. He was buried in Kabul, Afghanistan in Babur Gardens. Babur was very emotional and affectionate towards his family, his empire. He told Humayun that Islam can be better preached by the arms of love and affection instead of sword and bloodshed. Giving love to his people was the way of uniting everyone. This belief of Babur became the foundation of Mughal success. Babur's son Humayun ruled the Mughal kingdom for 10 years and was then defeated by Sher Shah Suri, the Afghan ruler of the Sur dynasty. After Humayun, Akbar ascended the throne. He defeated Hemu, the general of the Sur dynasty, in another battle of Panipat. After Akbar, Jahangir became the emperor. His wife, Nur Jahan, played an important role in administration. Jahangir was followed by Shah Jahan as the emperor. Shah Jahan has been called as the architect king. The Red Fort, Jama Masjid, Taj Mahal were built during his rule. Aurangzeb was the next emperor who ruled nearly 50 years. He tried to bring entire subcontinent under his control. Of all the Mughal rulers, Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar was the most powerful king. He brought glory to the empire and is called Akbar the Great. Akbar faced opposition from many rulers like Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi, and Rani Durgavati. Children, these were defeated by Akbar. Let us remember that they fought a brave fight for their kingdom. Would you like to listen to these stories? India is a home to numerous valiant kings who ruled their ancient kingdoms. One such mighty king was the Rajput of Mewar, Maharana Pratap. Maharana Pratap's attire, weapons, or even his horse Chetak, everything about this exceptional king speaks of his heroism. He is remembered for the famous Battle of Haldighati in 1576 against Mughal Emperor Akbar. He did not surrender to Akbar. Chand Bibi was the able daughter of Hussain Nizam Shah. She was also called as the Deccan Warrior Queen. She knew many languages including Arabic, Persian, Turkish, Marathi, and Kannada. Chand Bibi is best known for defending Ahmednagar against the Mughal forces of Emperor Akbar. Chand Bibi was killed by her own troops due to internal strifes. Thus, Mughals captured Ahmednagar fort. Rani Durgavati was born in the Chandel Rajput family. She became the Queen of Gondwana, which is in central India, after her marriage. Emperor Akbar tried to capture her kingdom too because the land was rich with forests and the soil had precious minerals. The brave Queen Durgavati laid down her life against the powerful Mughal army, but she did not surrender. That's all for today, children. Our lesson has taught us how internal fights makes a kingdom weak. Hence, we say unity is strength. We will continue with our lesson in the next period. Read this part of the lesson with Study Cloud videos whose links are given in the PDF file below. Also, you have to copy the notes given in the PDF file. Remember to write neatly. Thank you.